I get this being based on actual events as a joke, but it's confusing and not funny. And I only like being confused when I'm also laughing.
There was a time before cable.
What the is cable?
Hey everyone, come and see how good I look!
Instagram.
The arsonist has oddly shaped feet.
Saying this for your warm-up instead of felonious fire fanatics foot framing featured freakishly funny form.
Well, if you were a man, I would punch you. I'd punch you right in the mouth.
Gender-based violence morals.
Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor, Ron Burgundy.
Newseration meets newsposition and delivers unto the world the unholy child called newspositionation. May we never experience it again.
Hey, everybody! Shut the hell up! Ron Burgundy's on!
Being this big a fan of the Berg, but also waiting until it starts to quiet the room. Ever heard of planning ahead, Butch?
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month.
Movie has Fred Willard and wastes him in middle management instead of giving him one of the prime comedic roles in the movie. Zoom stashes. I don't need a close-up of the hair growth evolution specifically retained for the sole purpose of catching the stuff that comes out of your nose. Thanks. Jumping in the pool with socks on.
Champ here. I'm all about having fun.
Jeremy here. I'm all about sitting insipid expositional fourth wall breaks meant to fast-track character development.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48 and am what some people call mentally...
We really lost something when garter belts went out of style, huh?
We've been coming to the same party for 12 years now, and in no way is that depressing.
This is a great line of dialogue that sets the movie up to be a perfect send-up of a time period where, in most fields, men could do whatever the they wanted and women had to work 10 times as hard to be part of the same world. Unfortunately, the majority of the rest of the movie just ends up showing us a series of skits on how much fun Ron and his idiot crew are having, and kind of forgets about the satire or the parody that it initially sets out to be. The movie wants to have its fresh leather-bound books and mahogany scent and eat it too, and ends up just being almost as gross and unfunny as that sounds.
You have an absolutely breathtaking hiney.
Scoping out someone's rectal oxygen intake abilities.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Really?
People know me.
Confusing awareness for adoration. I would never. Placing your television here instead of here. Drinking any alcoholic beverage with a straw.
You pooped in the refrigerator, and you ate a whole wheel of cheese? How'd you do that? It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Another one of the most quotable lines in cinema history, ruined because he decides to go to bed and just leave the dog poop in the fridge for the night. Also, it's bad enough we've got to try and overlook the womanizing, but making Ron Burgundy a shitty dog owner is just taking it too far. Take your dog for a walk and let him poop in the neighbor's yard like a good dog owner would.
So I got this covered squirrel down there in the office. Don't know what to name it.
Oh, I'm sorry, champ. I think I ate your chocolate squirrel.
Eating someone's pet before they even have a chance to name it.
What in the hell's diversity?
Summarized casting motto for Friends somehow makes its way into the script.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
Steve Carell is the heart and soul of what works about this movie. Brick for making me laugh so hard I keep dislocating my ribs.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears.
Asking me to believe that Brick not only knows how to read, but also now understands the current topic of conversation. You spent so much time telling me how dumb he is, and had him just say he didn't know why everyone was yelling. This lack of character consistency is likely the reason this movie didn't win any Oscars.
She does have a nice big old behind. I'd like to put some barbecue sauce on that butt.
Thinking your Skibbity Ohio Riz game is good enough to phantom tax that yacht. Who hired the alphas for this script?
Because the only way to win is to be the best. The very best.
Discounting luck and or cheating. Littering or wasting corn dogs, your choice, I choose both.
I'm sure Wes here is just upset over finishing second in the ratings again.
I'm sure local news is a competitive business, but acting like being number 2 is such a horrible place to be is still all the bullshit.
You know those rating systems are flawed. They don't take into account houses that have more than 2 television sets.
Going with the 2 TVs reason that ratings are flawed instead of the reason that in the 70s it was just an honor system diaries situation that depended on the memory of the people who were prone to staring at their orange juice because the box said concentrate.
What can I say? I like the way you're put together.
Giving a human compliments that were intended for jigsaw puzzles and the Robot Command Center Lego set. Movie expects me to believe this local TV station has the kind of budget to afford giving a field reporter this big of an office with secret doors behind a false bookcase, and I do not believe you, movie.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
The amount of overused animated GIFs this movie is responsible for unleashing into my daily scroll is bordering on criminal.
That's the smell of desire, my lady.
God, no, it smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food.
I'm now more curious about how Veronica knows that specific of a smell so well.
Smells like Bigfoot's.
Actually, more curious how the random lady knows that smell over Veronica's. I need the Bigfoot's story immediately.
This is worse than the time the raccoon got in the copier!
Sure, but you couldn't tell the raccoon to go home and take a shower and change clothes, so the hosing it down made sense.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
Why does she need 2 tickets, though? Does she need a ticket for each arm? When you go to a gun show, do you purchase a ticket for each gun you want to look at? Or were you hoping she'd bring a friend?
This has to be the feeblest pickup attempt that I have ever encountered.
Really? Because this is the same man that on the previous night said, and I quote, he wanted to be on you. I feel like with the setup, with the weights, this pickup attempt was at least 2% less feeble.
Stop calling your arms guns.
But guns are a form of arms because they come from the armory. It's honestly a great pun that has gotten lost over time and use. So honestly, Veronica, now that you know that, he probably does deserve that date and subsequent sexual encounter he was shooting for.
I am too hurt. I am shocked and offended and hurt.
Gen Z.
And to watch. The mood is tense.
The mood for viewers should be shock and surprise because they are clearly watching the first instance of a person time traveling to the future since the San Diego Zoo didn't have any pandas until 1987.
I have been on some serious reports, but nothing quite like this. Ching King is inside right now.
The movie graciously decides to include this panda story foreshadowing as a reminder that some of the humor in this movie actually doesn't work even a little bit. The words on this prompter say something about a blind man and his pet falcon, but Ron is saying something completely different. This is especially egregious considering the whole joke is about him saying,
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Because he only says what he sees in the prompter. The continuity error killed the joke. It killed it dead.
Are you ready for our rendezvous?
It's not a date, Ron.
I can't believe I'm siding with Burgundy, but he didn't say date, Veronica. He said rendezvous, which does in no way automatically imply a date. Please don't make me request you get your mind out of the gutter, Veronica.
They named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
No, there's no way that's correct.
I'm not sure at what point Veronica will have officially become completely unlikable because she puts up with this man's but I'm sure she's already giving Marge Simpson a run for her money in this department. Everyone tinkers with their food and sniffs their drinks, and it's distracting. Let your extras eat, you Hollywood bastards.
What a pretty girlfriend. Drinks are on Tino tonight.
No. We're work associates.
Letting your integrity ruin a chance at free drinks.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all.
How did the flute not fall from the jacket sleeve this entire time?
Guys, East Harlem Shakedown, E flat.
Scene does not contain anyone doing the Harlem Shake. Likely because this movie didn't take place during the approximate 9-day stretch where it was apparently the most important thing in the world. It was like the ice bucket challenge, but instead of pouring ice over yourself as a way to pretend to raise money, you kind of danced. Weird.
That's baby making music, that's what that is.
Scene does not contain any babies being made at Tino's. This flute's teleportation powers are never fully explored in this movie.
You were amazing.
Thank you.
Where did you learn to play like that?
Waiting for everyone to clear out of the bar before having this conversation instead of having it naturally right after he finished his solo.
What if just for tonight, we weren't co-workers, we were co-people?
This works.
Mi corazón es el fuego.
Accusing your lover of giving you heartburn.
Look! The most glorious rainbow ever!
So are we supposed to assume this is something Ron is actually saying to Veronica while they are in the throes of lovemaking? Because I'm super curious what he's comparing to a rainbow. Also, these two will now have metaphorical unicorn sex on a rainbow road and not a single blue shell will arrive to ruin it before completion.
Tasteful discretion is the name of the game.
Veronica Corningstone and I had sex!
Character says they won't do something before the movie immediately cuts to them doing that thing cliche.
I met her in the bathroom of a Kmart, and we made out for hours.
Misquoting Digital Underground.
I love Lamp. I love Lamp.
Laugh all you want, but objectophilia is a real thing, and this movie shouldn't be making light of it.
Afternoon delight.
What's really going to bake your noodle is that this entire song was improvised with no previous practice on set because Apatow's creative freedom allowed for this kind of magic to take place. No? You don't believe me? Huh. It's almost like this kind of spontaneous harmony is sinfully impossible. Well, I was going to let it go because it's just a silly movie, but you talked me into it. Also, Afternoon Delight came out in 1976, and this is a movie set in the year of our Lord 1974, which means Starland Vocal Band stole this song. Thieves.
I'm getting some great stuff, Miss Corningstone.
My world falling apart because apparently Seth Rogen does know how to laugh like a normal human. Calling this feline fashion show Kitty Cat Vogue instead of the Pet Shack Catwalk. So is the weather today the exact same as it was the last time we saw it? Or did they only want to print out one of these weather inserts? Wait, does the station have to print out a new weather map for each show?
I'm a mess without you. I miss you so damn much. I miss being with you. I miss being near you.
Champ not only declares his love for all the sometime, but also forgets to be funny during most of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit saying things when they crop up there in the old skull, huh?
And cuffing Judd Apatow's writing process.
I've spent all day cleaning your Emmys and preparing dinner in the nude.
Disagreeing with me on the definition of the word nude.
But soon, with a simple act of littering, everyone's life would change forever.
This narrator has taken a turn from expositional to some sort of mystical film noir style prognostication. And if there's one thing I hate more than lazy narration, it's lazy, pretentious narration. Discount Jack Black must have been on a magical motorcycle because while it crashed behind Ron's car, it was able to transport in front of the car before Ron stepped out to check on him, thinking that there is any 4-lane bridge in San Diego this empty during any daylight hour. No.
This city needs its news.
Oh.
And you are going to deprive them of that because I have breasts?
I think technically it's the lack of a penis, not the having of the breasts. You see, it's not so much because you're a woman, it's more because you're not a man. Is it ironic that I have to mansplain the patriarchy to you?
Ron, where are you?
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
You know, I'd love to give a sin-off for this, but you know what they say. Those in glass cases shouldn't throw emotions. Okay, no one says that, but emotions do make me vomit, so...
I've got to do the news!
But why is he running? He had his car. Where's his car? And yes, this is the one thing that is fucking bugging me right now. Where is the car? This weather map has yet to be changed, and I highly doubt it's been 41 for a week straight in southern... Wait, is this square supposed to be Colorado?
I used to date a guy named Hoppy down in Alabama. He was quite a jumper, too.
Having fucking Catherine Hahn this whole time and just using her for reaction cutaways an hour in.
You have broken my heart, Mr. Burgundy. You have broken...
Skip!
It looks like our broadcast last night received a 2-point ratings boost.
A 2-point jump at bare minimum is like 500,000 more viewers, and most likely more. No one even knew Veronica would be the anchor until the last second. And this is well before social media and cell phones. So you're telling me enough people rotary dialed their friends and family to get a 2-point ratings boost over a 30-minute newscast?
That doesn't make sense.
Also, overnight Nielsen ratings weren't even available till the 1990s in San Diego. In the 70s, they would only measure ratings during the sweeps period each year, and those would take weeks to get. However you look at it, the way they go about getting the Veronica Corningstone is now going to be an anchor storyline on the board is a 2-point bullshit boost. The fact that in reality, the US didn't have a female news anchor in primetime until 1976, 2 years after this movie is set. What the f***? US. Movie decides not to focus on the more interesting plotline, which is that somehow Veronica became the head of the National Coalition for Haitian Rights. Ron Burgundy is somehow dubbed the Michael Jordan of wiener wolfing 10 years before Michael Jordan was even in the NBA.
I have your pregnancy report here. And guess what? You got knocked up.
Hiding one of your future movie titles inside your movie, like your Pixar or some shit.
Where the hell's the suit store?
Since they just made it seem like buying a new suit was a thing they often do to cheer each other up, them not knowing where the suit store is and the quickest way to get there might be the most unbelievable thing that happens in this movie.
You back off, evening news team.
Do they hate them more because they are from a different channel, or because they also do evenings? Without this key motivational information, I'm finding it difficult to truly engage with the narrative through point of our protagonist's character arc.
Not so fast, you ingrates!
This cameo cascade of different news teams ready to West Side Story it up together is so surreal and fun that if I didn't give a sin off for it, I'm pretty sure Dead Meat, Watch Mojo, and Chris Stuckman would all show up with the crew to rumble with me. And honestly, I'm too soft to risk it.
I did not see that coming!
That's usually how it works when you are attacked from behind. This isn't exactly the revelation you think it is, Frank.
Policia!
Noted Hispanic Ben Stiller is certainly right that this is the police coming, but then he decides to throw his fingerprint-laden whip on the ground just to make sure he'll get caught.
I'm not a baby, I'm a man. I am an Anchorman!
And I'm expressing my inner anguish through the majesty of rolling credits. The name of this Mexican restaurant roughly translates to "we spit in your food," but nobody in San Diego speaks enough Spanish to know this, and at least make sure the drink prices are worth it before eating there.
Ron Burgundy will read anything that is put on that teleprompter. And when I say anything, I mean
Once again, something we've already had foreshadowed for us and specifically said to us is being said again. This entire idiotic movie thinks that everyone watching it is also idiotic, and that's, well, it's idiotic.
Go f*** yourself, San Diego.
Every non-baseball commissioner's response when San Diego asks for a professional sports team somehow makes it into the script.
Ron, I never wanted it to be like this!
Well, then changing the teleprompter so Ron would sabotage his own career was a really odd choice. Now I can't even root for Veronica. Is there no one to like in this f***ing movie? Baxter's even kind of a dick.
I mean, it's still kind of funny, but it's not!
Little known piece of trivia. I mean, it's still kind of funny, but it's not, would eventually be used as the tagline for Anchorman 2.
You're going to eat that cat poop!
I will not eat cat poop.
Disrespecting the chef after they took the care to plate this meal so beautifully.
You will eat cat poop!
Ron Burgundy says no!
Is a conversation that happens for all the sometime in this movie.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Surviving the eating of cat shit, but being worried about drinking milk on a hot day.
Chris, listen to me. Put down the gun and let the marching band go.
We'll play it off as a prank.
Making a joke out of an attempted school shooting.
I make fart noises with my mouth.
Refreshing your resume to apply to be a Foley artist for DreamWorks Animation.
Look, Drunky, you've been coming in here every day, stinking up the joint with your craziness.
From Dusk Till Dawn here just accused Ron of creeping out the regulars, but if Ron has been coming here every day, isn't he also a regular? Movie thinks that the best way to indicate I should be afraid of these animals is by showing one of them sleeping froggy style. And the movie is wrong, because that bear is adorable. Baxter just now getting out of this river over 3 months later is low-key one of the scariest and creepiest things I've ever seen, and makes this movie a horror movie, and not in a good way.
Will you follow me again?
I'm getting too over this shit.
Taking Danny Glover's one-liners in vain.
This is a tough decision. So much to think about. Basically the biggest story of my career, launching me to a level I've never known before, or saving the woman I used to have familiar relations with.
Yeah, it's a real Batman and two boats situation for sure. Can we get back to the comedy soon, or are we really pretending this is an actual narrative film now?
Bear fight!
Filming me and the boys headed out to see The Revenant without our consent.
Clearly, after today, I will no longer...
The absolute lack of any blood in this man's entire body.
Baxter!
Ex Machina. There are actual subtitles to this bear-dog conversation that most discs don't contain, and that is disrespectful to this proud race of bears, her cousin Katao Joe, and the tales of her compassion that will never be told. Also, it's disrespectful to my ability to sin the ever-loving shit out of how convenient it is that Baxter just happened to run into this bear's cousin in his 3-month river stay.
It's always a long fall from the top, isn't it?
Even though he's going to congratulate Ron at the end of this, not one of these people tries to stop Wes Mantooth from potentially murdering him.
Today we spell redemption. R-O-N.
United States public school system.
Excuse me, is that Sex Panther you're wearing?
It sure as hell shouldn't be, considering that the last time he wore it, the smell cleared out a large room. It was so odoriferous, there's no way these people would be standing so close to him. Also, he only uses it for special no-pants dance attempts, so he wouldn't have been wearing it today anyway.
Brian Fantana went on to have great success as the host of the hit reality TV show Enter Course Island.
Being directly responsible for inspiring F-Boy Island.
Oh! Great Odin's Raven! Oh, by the hammer of Thor!
Having outtakes in your closing credits in a similar fashion to Liar Liar, and in turn making me wish I was watching Liar Liar instead. Also, with these Thor references, I think it's safe to say we can now blame Anchorman, the Legend of Ron Burgundy, for all the goddamn MCU stingers we've had to sit and suffer through. Dragging Burt Reynolds and Sally Field into this mess. Honestly, mostly just dragging Sally Field into this mess.
Ooh, watch yourself, it's the claw! Ooh, the claw's coming at you.
How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow?
Check one, sibilance.
My tiny little nipples went to France.
I know what you're asking yourself, and the answer is yes. I have a nickname for my penis. It's called
John Cock Toadstool. You have an absolutely breathtaking hiney.
Oh, hot. Want to touch the hiney.
You hear that, Ed? Bears. Now you're putting the whole station in jeopardy.
The Bears.
The Bears. What is that smell?
It's complicated. It's mystical. It's barbaric.
Look over here.
Look up here, look up here, look up here.
Wow, quite a drink order.
Oh, well, when in Rome.
I said Rome, not Paris. This is Paris, and you're drunk.
If you tell a little German boy again and again and again not to go near the edge of the chocolate river, and he goes to drink from it, who is at fault here?
See what it's like when you're not here? Champ's been a mess. Brick can't sleep at night.
You're a real hooker, and I'm gonna slap you in public.
You have man boobs.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Have you ever thought about fighting fire with fire?
What do you mean?
You didn't think you were the only magical girl in town, did you?
There was no baby, it was full of cans.
Do you know how my whole staff works? What sacrifices make to make you happy, and then you just smugly just f***ing on my shit.